It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome, one and all. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith. The NBA playoff picture starting to come into focus.
There below is Barclays Center and the borough of Brooklyn, where there's well, guys, Victor. He's definitely on an upward trajectory, DA. Thank you. When the super teams are dominant game after game, some people are going to ask, what's the point of even playing a game like this?
Well, in the regular season, I hear that all the time, and I sort of laugh at it because this is what the season is about. Sure. 82-game grind, having competition not only with opponents, but within yourself, within your team, battling for minutes. And we understand that a lot of these teams are built to win in the postseason. The regular season doesn't mean much for them. They're going to qualify for the playoffs, but there are other teams in this league, Kevin, trying to fight to improve. And on nights where you have opportunities to play against that kind of dominant team, a coach can say, see the potential, see what is possible. We just saw it here tonight.
And take some personal pride in your performance.
No doubt about it. And you can stack yourself up against these super teams that roll into your arena to find out exactly where you are. And sometimes winning a game like that for a coaching staff, they can say, let's use this momentum to build on it. We just beat one of the better teams in the league. So psychologically, it works in a lot of ways during a regular season.
Now the starting group for the Denver Nuggets. We've got Joe Ingles. Simmons is out there with Gary Harris. Then there's Oladipo, and it's Love in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Basket, good.
Now this is why the coach is telling him, stay up on Victor, otherwise he's going to pull it. Oladipo knocks one down.
Conley surveying the D. Brown against Love. Unloads from 13. Offensive rebound. Randall no good.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Love can't hit.
You combine his massive size and then his desire to pound the glass, it makes him a tough cover on the board.
You know, watching Kevin Love, he's really got a ton of tools at his disposal offensively. We know he can shoot it. We know he can post it, but his off-ball movement has also improved. Love has molded himself into a dynamic scorer.
I like seeing Oladipo around the rim using the lift inside.
The Nets have gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter. Outside Conley. Passes it to Brown. Shoots it up. And again, it's the Nets missing.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
One of those guys who you say 6'4" but plays bigger, Oladipo with the strength to finish through the contact.
And you can feel that Oladipo was on the verge of a breakthrough, and boy, did he ever. Everything came together for him, and he is now not only an elite scorer, but an all-star. Can attack from any distance and has a variety of ways to hurt the defense.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. And for Oladipo, Greg, there wasn't just one moment that gave him that push.
I mean, his development was less of having a eureka moment and more of everything just coming together. Has always had the strong athleticism, has refined his shot to make the most of it. And while it took him some time, he's now the player everyone hoped he'd be when he was the second overall pick.
That one goes in for him, too, making it look easy. He's now 4 for 4.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Barnes kicks to Jokic. 58 seconds left here in the first quarter. Yep, that one goes in there. Jokic has got his first 2 points of the night.
I like how quickly Jokic gets his jump shot up there. Outstanding job of finding some rhythm on that shot.
Love finds Oladipo. Back to Love. Over Jokic. And Love with the basket on the assist by Oladipo.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Randall outside. Pass to Conley. Brown outside. Five to shoot. Jacks up a three. The rebound by Kevin Love. Love's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Ingles. And that basket pushes the lead to double digits.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
Yeah, you can credit the play calling. Nothing really fancy, just imposing their will on the inside.
The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
And sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time, he chose wisely.
Victor Oladipo getting it done for the Denver Nuggets. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him.
The adjustment for me has just...
The league in general, GA, going smaller. Love finding himself more and more moving up to the 5.
Yeah, he can certainly rebound at that position, and his perimeter shooting at the 5 makes him a tough cover.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And the Nuggets, guys, what jumps out to you numbers-wise?
The chemistry through the roof, and it's allowed them to build this huge lead after one.
All parts are working together, even the guys who have not put the points on the board making their subtle contributions.
So on the floor for Denver, Simmons is out there with Harris. And it's Joe Ingles. Then there's Kevin Love. And it's Oladipo in at the 3 slot. No good from Simmons. And so it's Rendell bringing it up now for the Brooklyn Nets, trailing by 10. This the first chance to take a look at the Nuggets this season. With 10 games left, let's see how the playoff race is shaping up out west. You look at Utah. They've got their eye on the #1 seed as the season moves into the final stretch. Currently first place in the standings, and guys showing no signs of letting up. And, of course, the Nuggets, 6.5 games behind them.
And when I look at Denver, they haven't attracted any serious attention here in the early season. It's been the kind of average start that most had predicted.
And after talking to some of the coaches and the players, they're not happy that they couldn't start off on a little bit more of a roll. But I think they're in fine shape with the bulk of the season still to come.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn.
Interesting, Kevin. I got drafted by the Nuggets, never played there. They drafted me 15th overall back in the 1995 draft and then shipped me out. I would have been a much better skier, by the way.
Conley kicks to Jokic. There's the dish to Randall. Over Ingles. Randall no good.
Trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but thus far, it's not working.
Yeah, I hope it hasn't gone to his head. He may be trying too hard at this point.
Simmons with it. Conley picks him up. And Simmons kicks to Oladipo. Kicks it out to Love. On the clock. Simmons inside the line. Unable to get that one. Good work defensively by Conley. Nets trailed by 13. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Hey guys, well, some have nicknamed center Nikola Jokic the Joker, and he does have a lighthearted approach. He said, "This is not a job. I'm enjoying the game like a game of pickup basketball in my hometown. That's the mentality. No pressure. It's just a game." He feels that staying calm helps him succeed. Kevin?
Thanks, D.A. For Brooklyn, they've gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second quarter. Here's Jokic. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play. One of my favorite moves is the Euro step. I know it's one of yours as well. There are a lot of guys that can do it well.
Well, I got to see Manu Ginobili step around me for years in San Antonio. But I think James Harden is still the most devastating Euro step player we have in the game. There's something about the lefties, isn't there, Kevin? We have a hard time figuring
They
a
throw
lefty
you off.
out.
They throw you off automatically just by the left hand.
Right.
Then they add the little side step.
The James Harden with the shiftiness and the way he moves the ball around and draws contact. I know there are a lot of people that get aggravated by that, but he's nearly impossible to stop, especially when he's got his passport with the Euro step.
He slithers. Back to Brown. Outside Conley. Beyond the arc. They get it again. Randall passes to Jokic. Down it goes, his third basket. He's now 3 for 4.
Beautiful execution from him, building off a great first quarter, looking unstoppable here.
Conley against Simmons. On the wing, Harris. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation.
Looking at some numbers for Simmons. His last 10 games, 8th in assists, and he's in the top 10 in field goal percentage. Really able to power his way to the bucket and finish through contact.
And his floor awareness is undeniable. As you pointed out, top 10 in assists, and he's great at drawing the defense and making the perfect pass in stride. Here's Barnes. Ingles with the rebound. The Nuggets leading by 9, and Simmons kicks to Oladipo. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Oladipo can be so explosive, long and lengthy. I'd like to see him continue to get better.
For Denver, they have shot just 1 free throw earlier, 1 for 1 in the game.
And collectively, they're only about 73% as a unit right now.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Pass to Randall. Brown outside. Conley the pass to Brown. Jokic draws the double. Shot is good, and the Nugget lead is cut to just 9 on the basket from Brown.
Amazing how much the offense has changed around the center position and the way Jokic can see the floor.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, just nice strength there and then just off with the shot.
Denver shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game. That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
And the Australian Simmons, a star in the making, folks. Thanks really in part to that tremendous skill set to go along with that.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, it's good to Victor Oladipo had it going on in the first quarter. He had 11 points and 3 assists. Shaq, let's get your take on Denver.
You got to like their offense efficiency. They were patient, took good shots. That was reflected in their high field goal percentage.
And that's going to do.
The Brooklyn Museum, just one of the many places to visit here in this famous borough of New York City. Welcome back, folks. And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. You look at Victor Oladipo in this game, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, and through 2 quarters, he's been lights out. And you know he's going to look to add to those totals.
And defensively, hard to force him out of the rhythm at this point because he has a number of ways with which he can beat you.
While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. Brown out there with Conley. Then there's Harrison Barnes. Then it's Julius Randle. And it's Jokic in at the center position. Out to Conley. Gets the 3-pointer to fall. Conley's got 6.
And the spacing that Conley provides from long range really has become crucial to this offense.
And for Jokic, just keeps getting better, Brent, but always stays very grounded in terms of his personality.
Yeah, I think his brothers had a lot to do with that. You just don't see the big ego coming out of him. In fact, you see a guy who's enjoying the game. He smiles, he's laughing with teammates, he enjoys being with this group and around this coaching staff. And he went as far as to say that he plays every game as a game of pickup basketball in his hometown. I need to travel over there and get in that game. When the guy is capable of so many things like that on the offensive end, anytime you lose sight of him, he's got a huge advantage.
And Simmons kicks to Harris. Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. The Nuggets need to get a shot off here. On its way from Oladipo for 2. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
I love the pace he's playing with, letting his offense come to him naturally and then building upon this lead for his team.
Timeout called, the Nets. Brent, do you think individual defense is getting easier to measure with player tracking and advanced stats?
I don't. I think it's impossible for you to find some legitimate measurement of how much a player is truly impacting the game defensively. I think there's great indicators of combinations of players that are on the floor at the same time, that are working collectively and doing something to shut down another team's best offensive unit. But individually, it's so hard to just put a number on what a guy is doing in terms of his total impact defensively.
So the eye test is not out of style.
I don't think so. I think we're getting better at the defensive metrics that are being used, Kevin, and I think that clearly we can see with some of the best wing defenders in the league, a Robertson, a Covington, that they're able to control their man, a Kawhi Leonard, they're able to impact the game defensively. But how are we quantifying that? We need to get better with it.
Simmons finds Love. Oladipo taking his time here. Here's Simmons. Drills the baseline jumper. Simmons got 4 this quarter.
Nice use of the mid-range J by Simmons, taking whatever the defense gives him out there.
Randall dishes to Barnes. No one near Conley as he lets it go. Misses the 3.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Oladipo, the pass to Ingles. Good, and it's Oladipo picking up the assist. Oladipo's got 4 assists in the game. To the inside, Jokic trying to get open as Randall. Jokic, no good.
Well, from our angle, that looked like that was going in. But defense, fantastic how they contested it.
And the shot goes in. Oladipo's got the lead up to 13 now for the Nuggets.
And this is one of those games, Oladipo, when he gets it going, he can be a handful.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Jokic draws the double. Here's Randall, and he uses the glass on the layup.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Simmons against Conley. And here is Simmons. He has 6. Takes the 13-footer. Can't connect.
There's a quiet intensity that Jokic plays with, especially on defense. Made that shooter a little bit nervous.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Nuggets lead by 11. And coming up... And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter form.
Well, there's a way to break down the defense with the handle, but you can do it with the pass. Prime example of that right there.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. And Denver will start the fourth quarter with Victor Oladipo is out there with Joe Ingles. Then it's Simmons. Then there's Harris. And it's Love in at the center, filling out the middle. And Simmons has got the ball here for the Nuggets. And it's Oladipo that time on the assist by Harris. Oladipo's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for Denver. Conley kicks to Jokic. Knocks it loose. Brown outside. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's on Gary Harris.
I admire the energy that Brown plays with, so great at getting to the line.
And Brown drops them both. Now here's Oladipo. The pass to Love. 60 seconds off the clock here in the fourth. They get a hand on it. Jokic with the steal. Out of bounds. Denver takes possession. The Nuggets leading by 11. And Simmons kicks to Ingles. Left side, Love. Over Jokic. And It's Love missing.
And he completely threw the timing off on that jumper. That is how you D up.
Playing with tremendous aggressiveness without fouling. That's an excellent job.
Denver's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Harris. Here's Simmons, and it's blocked by Brown, and he's able to get it back. The net shooting a pretty low 34% thus far. Back to Randall. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. Nuggets have gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the fourth. A lot of misses, just the one make. Here's Love. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. 9 points for Love.
That's a huge part of Love's game right now. A catch-and-shoot player. He has great confidence in that shot.
Timeout called, the Nets. Victor Oladipo really making a difference here.
So far, he is just destroying their will. It feels like he can get any shot he wants once he crosses half court.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Victor Oladipo.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
Coming into this game, he'd been having a tough stretch. We all know that, but not anymore. He's back at his best, and I think it's safe to say that slump is over.
He's known as more steady than flashy, but that was a sensational pass by Conley. He can get fancy when he needs to.
Love kicks to Simmons. Passes it to Harris. Ingles finds Oladipo. Shot clock at 5. From the arc. Another 3 for Denver.
Slowly and steadily improving Oladipo, a good three-point shooter, making him more well-rounded as a threat.
Conley up top. Guarded by Simmons. Takes a shot at the elbow. Conley gets the bucket.
And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
Tremendous focus with the bigger guy all over him. It speaks to the toughness he has down there.
And we'll just watch the clock wind down, guys, in what will turn out to be a win here for the Nuggets.
What do you think was the deciding factor in this one?
I think you have to look at their field goal percentage. They just shot the ball much better than the opponent, and they were getting great looks all game long.
And it'll advance their win total up to 12 on the season. And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Victor Oladipo.
They looked aggressive on the offensive end, and that compounded into lots of great opportunities that he capitalized on.
Simmons passes to Oladipo. From the baseline. And he gets the bucket.
I'll tell you, when you're the visiting team, it can be hard to maintain focus, but not tonight.
Tonight they have stuck with what they do well, handling all the exterior pressure, and they're likely to come out on top here.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Here's Barnes. Here's Jokic, and that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
Well, Jokic is big, Jokic is long, and he does a great job there of corralling that ball and taking advantage of his length.
Simmons feeling it out a bit. So the Nuggets win it. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll do it, folks.
Yeah, 'cause you're the last of a dying